Warner Brothers has decided to remake a classic, but in a different way. The Color Purple. It's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by CritiX.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have had the opportunity to see Warner Brothers' latest adaptation to a very, very classic film, The Color Purple. That's right, originally written in the book, which went on to become a film in 1985, directed by none other than Steven Spielberg. It starred Danny Glover, Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey was in it as well. And then it got so popular, it did 94 million at the box office at the time, which was huge in that time of film and movies. And then they went on to go become a play, a musical, in 2004. And to date, it's done over $100 million in sales. So it's without saying that it's been a very, very popular franchise. But now Warner Brothers decided to revisit this. They have adapted the play musical version of this and put it into a film, a feature film, produced this time by Steven Spielberg and Oprah Winfrey, and directed by Blitz Bazawu, who a lot of us will know as the director of Black is King by Beyonce on Disney Plus. I know a lot of you Beehive fans have seen that, so this is something that you might want to, check out as well because you're fans of Black is King. Now, this film, it stars the cream of the crop. I got to tell you, there's a lot of great people in this. Fantasia is in this. Taraji P. Henson is in this. Danielle Brooks is in this. Who else is in this? We've got Corey Hawkins is in this. And of course, Halle Bailey is in this as well. The Little Mermaid herself. There's a lot of other people in this thing, but I could sit here all day and give you a list of amazing actors and actresses that are in this movie. And we'd be here all day because people just pop up. There are some familiar faces. There's some cameos. There's some great things in this movie. Now, let's talk about what The Color Purple is before I get into what did I think about this movie. So, The Color Purple, it's a very classic film. I love the story. I've been a huge fan of the story. I've seen it when I was a kid. I've seen this. I was very, very young at the time. My parents, they watched this movie. And of course, I was in the room. And this is how I learned a lot of the black actors of that time. So for me, the message was always, finding yourself in a time where there was sexism, racism, classism, and generational trauma. A lot of that going on, and I feel like that's like one of the biggest themes in this film, about people who and how they deal with their own generational trauma, because each character has their own trait based off of the way that they were raised, and I think that's a huge portion of the story. I'd never seen the play, the musical, so to speak. I've never seen it, but I'm a musical lover. That's the weird thing. I love musicals. I'm a musical person. I come from a musical background. So watching musicals, I've always been a fan of. So when I saw that it was going to become a film version of the musical, I was a little nervous because this particular story I feel is very it's very serious. It's very serious toned. It's not. It's dark in a lot of places, and there's a really, really strong message. And my concern was that the music's gonna just gloss right over this. I was like, if you're gonna redo this for this generation, for this new generation of fans and people that are watching this, you might want to just kind of do it regular. Just do another remake and just retell the story, because I feel like the music just might gloss over everything. So In the beginning of this movie, I kind of felt that. I kind of felt like this is just too perky. This is not the story that I wanted to feel, that I wanted to see again. And it moves a little fast in the beginning. Um, in parts where you're like, this is where all the character development was in the original. This is where you wanted to figure out, who was who, and kind of join Celie on the journey. Um, but then somewhere along the lines into the film, it actually pulls you in and gets better. Um, there are some really great musical pieces in this film that I gotta say, the choreography, everyone's vocals are on point, the set design, the movie is beautiful. Like I can't even like shout out to Blitz because the cinematography in this is unlike a lot of things I've seen in a musical itself. And I guarantee you, somewhere somehow, set design or costume design is getting nominated for an award for this film because it looks phenomenal in every musical piece and just in every scene. Period. Our people look good in this. They look really good in this. I'm not even gonna lie. Everyone is top notch. So when it starts, there's a lot of story in it that I didn't think was gonna be there because it just kind of jumps in with a lot of the music in the beginning. Quite frankly, if I had to tell it, it doesn't need the music. The film doesn't need the music. The music is great. It has a stage play, and that stuff, it looks good on stage. Doesn't need the music when you're watching this movie because the storytelling in this, when it gets to the storytelling, it's so good. Fantasia is so good. Taraji P is so good. Everyone is just so good in this film that you forget at some points. Oh yeah, there's a musical number that might come in every once in a while in this film, and at some points it kind of takes away from it. There are some great musical numbers, like I said, like Danielle Brooks. She stands out as Sophia, which was originally played by Oprah Winfrey. Danielle Brooks nails that role. Like I didn't even I knew about most of the cast, but didn't even know she was in this. So when I saw her, and you get that famous that famous march that Oprah brought in the original, and I gotta tell you, she's like one of the standout characters in this film. Like her storyline is probably one of the best storylines in this film because it's just done so well. And Taraji's character in this, she played Avery, the singer that everyone was like wooing and obsessed with, and she does her thing. Her story arc is amazing in this. So, and that's the thing about the difference between the original. If those of you were wondering, what's the difference? The difference is outside of the music, there's a little more storytelling, a little more of the characters are fleshed out in this film. The ending, I had to compare the endings, um, and I like the ending of the new one a little bit better because a lot of it is fleshed out. I know that the other one, the original, was kind of montagey. You kind of had to like figure out what was going on your own. I mean, you could still do it. It was very, in your face and kind of went the pace. But I feel like this one definitely, and I think that's what they substituted for. When I said the beginning was quick, the beginning feels a little bit quick because they spent a lot more time in the arc and kind of wrapping up everybody's story and tying it very well. So yeah, I mean, overall, what did I think of the Color Purple 2023? I think it is a very very solid emotional movie still. Um, you may not get as emotional as you did watching the original because I said because of the music, and some of the musical numbers are just a little too cheerful for me, and I feel like the overall message of a lot of scenes gets missed within the context of the songs. But for the most part, there are some really hard hitting performances. Like Fantasia singing her main song and Danielle Brooks doing her main song. Even Taraji, she's got a voice. Like I didn't even realize that she had a voice. The way she had a voice, but she has a voice. Yeah, and of course Halle Bailey, she does her thing in this as well. We already know her vocals are amazing, but there are a lot of singers who pop up in this that you'll probably be like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Even like the big reveal at the end. I don't want to give it away, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The big reveal if you're a fan of the original. But yeah, overall, The Color Purple 2023, it's a very, very solid movie. Do I think it stands up to the original? Um, that's a 50-50 for me. I'm going to say I like them both in their own way. I love the dramatic take on the original because it gives you an opportunity to get really connected with these characters and really go on that journey and take your time and just soak it all in. And then this one, it's fresher, it's newer, but everyone is bringing their A game as actors. There's no, oh, they could have did that. No, no, no. They do it. They do it. My only thing is, didn't need to be a musical. Didn't. They could have just did a regular story, and it still would have hit. It still would have resonated. Like I feel like, you know, the musical thing just glosses over the overall impact of what this story is supposed to be about, and that's how I feel about The Color Purple 2023. But still, it's worth checking out. Guys and girls, let me know. Are you excited to see The Color Purple 2023? Did you even know it was happening? What part? What's your favorite part in the original that you're waiting to see in this one? Because I gotta tell you, it doesn't really skip a beat much. It just gives you a little bit more of what we got in the original. Guys and girls, like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.